Hey, this is Mellissa and Jenise with Beautifully Broken Authentically You Ministries, and we are outside doing a podcast for the second week in a row. I love this.
I do
love
too. It's
being
really
outside.
pretty.
It's so nice outside, but we're actually at a different location today, which is even cooler.
I know. We got to go on an adventure.
It's always an adventure, right? Always.
Yes.
How about the adventure of life?
Oh, yeah, that's the biggest one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't get turn-by-turn directions for that.
That's right. That's true. That's true. But we can always use Jesus as our navigator.
We could. Yeah.
So we always think about putting in our GPS where we're going. Sometimes we don't know where we're going.
Most people don't know where they're going. Like, they're just along for the ride.
It's true. So anyway, let's see what God is speaking to us tonight, because he speaks to us in different ways.
He sure does.
About different topics.
Yeah, what is he speaking to you about?
Well, I'm just reminded this is a very sentimental park, I guess, if that's what I want to call it. I don't know if I want to call it sentimental, but this is a park where a season in my life I just used to come to this park all the time and just reflect. And so I was really ready to face that challenge, or that fear, I guess. I don't know if that's what you would call it, but sometimes to overcome something or to overcome different spots, and you want to see the beauty everywhere you go. And like for so long, I think that there was like a little cloud over maybe this park that I was like, there's no
That's
beauty.
uncomfortable.
There's no beauty in that park at all. And so I think when you face something head on, then there's beauty in it after that, because God can do whatever. He can do anything with something that you think is broken and not beautiful. He can make it beautiful again.
Yeah. I mean, I love that, because there's times in life where you go through something and like you think that it's such a bad time of your life and a bad season, and then like God can take those ashes and create fertilizer for the soil. Like it's like you can sprout something beautiful from something painful or something uncomfortable or something that you know that you should be doing, but you need that nudge.
Yeah.
And so I love that we can like kind of face our fear or our struggle with certain places and people and things, and just place it in the hands of God.
Yeah. I mean, I was literally praying, like, as we were walking in here, and even before we got here, I was like, okay, God, just use this. What are you going to do tonight? And he's created a beautiful time that we can have together, and in this beautiful creation, like the ability to just see past what was ever in the past, and
Right.
And one of my favorite sayings is the windshield is larger than the rear view mirror for a reason.
That is very true. You have a lot of good wisdom. I think it was one of our first podcasts where we were like, what does wizened mean? I was like, a wise person.
Like, just us creating our own words.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do, right?
That is absolutely what we do. Yeah. But it's so nice to see people out walking and enjoying this beautiful night, because it's gorgeous out.
Yeah, I mean, even the mosquitoes like them, like me.
Well, they like us for sure. I don't love them, but they love us.
Very, very true.
Yes. So what's a topic that he's been speaking to you this week about?
This week he's been talking to me a lot about the impact that we have in others' lives, just as a witness of our own faith. Just the people that we come across, the people who see us doing what we just naturally do.
Yeah.
Like we don't think that we're any better than anybody else, but like a lot of people do see that we're set apart,
and we're different
than most others, because we don't serve the world, we serve God.
That's correct. Very true.
So I've just been thinking about the impact of that, and how like even family members or friends or even just kids around, like
Yeah. So like we never want to hide ourselves into doing something or being someone that we're not. We should always just be authentically ourselves and genuinely ourselves, because it attracts people that we wouldn't normally think that it would, but people start to question when you do things that are so different from the world or other people or whatever. People start to wonder why, and it just opens the door to having a conversation that you might not have had with that specific person before.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how God shows up when you really don't have any expectations at all of anything ever happening. And then he just blows your mind when he sends somebody or whatever, someone to answer a prayer or a blessing and be like, this is for you just because, because that's something that a lot of people don't just do anymore. They don't do things out of the kindness of their hearts anymore. It's not a random act of kindness. It's like, hey, I want notice for this. I want people to see me to do this. I want to give a huge amount of money just to get credit for it, because I want my legacy to continue. They don't care about other people. They just want their own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I was, that actually brings me to my point that I had that I wanted to talk about is when we have to, like we all go through struggles of some sort, or we go through a victory, or we go through a trial, but we're not meant to do it alone. And a lot of times, like we could say that and people would be like, okay, yeah, you're not alone because God is with you, but but also like to remember the gift of community that he's given us.
Yes.
And if we have a struggle or we have a trial or we have a victory, and if we don't share it with the community that he surrounded us with, then how is anyone ever going to help us? We could be missing, or they could be missing the blessing that they want to give us or give whoever, because we're not sharing what we need. So we're not we're not giving the ability for another person to give a blessing because we're not sharing with them, because we're too prideful.
We're being too prideful. Yes.
Most of the time it's because we're being too prideful and we're like, oh yeah, no, I can do this on my own. And God's like, that's why I gave you community. I know I was convicted of that recently, where he was like, Mellissa, I've given you people who will help you through this struggle or whatever is going on in your life. I've given you beautiful people to help you, and you're not sharing it. You're not utilizing it. So now it's actually on you.
Yeah, I mean, I've also been convicted of that recently. I didn't even realize that I was being prideful about it, because I thought, okay, well, God's got me, and it's not like I was sitting around waiting for God to just drop things from the sky, but like, it's not like I wasn't trying to do stuff too and let him do the rest, but like, it's also like, it's hard to admit that you yourself need help. And really only close people who are like, actually, you should really take advantage of having community.
Yeah, what about when somebody offers to do something for you and you're like, no, that's okay, I don't want that, or I'm going to give that back, and I actually one time had a wise person tell me, like, no, you're not going to give that back, Mellissa, because that would be stealing that person's blessing, and you don't want to steal a blessing from another person.
Right. And I learned that lesson recently.
We learn these lessons. We think we learned them, and then we learn them again, and then we learn them again and again and again and again.
Until we just learn it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're never fully sanctified.
No, we're not. We're going to always keep struggling with the same thing until we, learn from it, and then we can help other people,
Yeah.
But like, for me, I needed to go through those things, and I needed to experience that because, otherwise I wouldn't know,
right,
until somebody points it out to me.
Yeah, sometimes we have to have the obvious pointed out.
Yeah, I need to be taught in the moment, otherwise I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah, that's correct. So what else is he talking to you about?
pretty much with the impact of others, I'm also thinking about how it also divides.
And what does that mean?
It means, like, for instance, like Jesus said, you know, like in your own household, you're gonna have people divided. Like, when you follow him, there's people who believe, and then there's people who think they believe, and then there's people who follow, and then there's people who think they follow, and then, you know, like, it's just a whole lot of mess, you know, like, and people follow what they think they're supposed to do versus what they know to do, and it gets even more complicated when we should be all united together in faith. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we've experienced over the past year that we've been actually, like, solid doing this ministry, is that people really choose, like, we get to choose what we want to listen to, but I think that's something that we developed over the past year, because the people that we thought we could go to were actually not the correct people, and people who are not going to support us, and we were like, okay, why is this happening? But that's a classic thing, is that, you know, they might not be true believers, or they might not understand what we're going through, or what we're doing, or whatever.
Or they
it might
have
not,
their own stuff.
Yeah, it might not be what they want, or whatever. Or the classic thing, I've been in ministry for 25 years, and this is how you have to do it. Well, guess what? We're not doing it that way.
Yeah, we were called to start something from the ground up in God's way, not other people's way.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So, like, I think that was a growing thing for us too, is to realize that, maybe at first we were kind of clueless, but it's not because we weren't being sensitive to God, it was because we were listening to him grow us through it.
Yeah, and not everybody has the same calling that we have. So it's going to be confusing to other people. Like, I don't have the same calling that you have. You don't have the same calling that I have. You know, like, I mean, we have some similarities. We have a lot of similarities.
And we're headed towards the same goal.
Right. But, you know, like, not everybody, I mean, it feels like the entire church and all of the Christian population should have the same goal in mind, and to be Christ-like. And it's interesting when you come and encounter somebody who absolutely doesn't.
Right. And there's grace for those people, obviously, but, like, you know, they also have to want to receive the help. And that's the other part of the whole conversation here, is that it's hard to ask for help. So it's kind of like, who do you go to? Who do you trust? And who can you count on? How can you impact others? Because others are watching, and that impact is going to last as a witness to your faith.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that we've learned is when people give us this unsolicited feedback or advice or whatever, that we take that all with a grain of salt, and we take it back to God, and we say, God, what did you want me to hear out of that? Because that was not a good conversation, if I have to say anything about it. But maybe you could give it to me in a different way. Maybe you could tell me something different. Maybe you could tell me how I was supposed to hear it, like if I was supposed to hear it.
Right. And he does clarify.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there are things where it's kind of like, not right now, daughter, but maybe in a few months, you know, like, and so I love how the Spirit guides and provides.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many times where I just keep thinking about all the people that we just wanted so badly to have advice, or we thought we needed to seek approval from people or whatever, and
or
then
to
realize,
even share the joy with.
Yeah, and then realize we don't need approval from the world. We need approval from God, and we are his servants, and we are here to say, here I am, Lord, send me.
Yes.
And
I think that's exactly the main thing that we connected with as we did this, is, you know, like, we just want to be the hands and feet. We don't care about getting credit. This is God's. And only God will grow it, and he has.
He absolutely has.
And so I'm just thankful for that.
Yeah, me too. Well, thank you so much for listening and watching us. We really appreciate you stopping by our YouTube channel. So
Hit subscribe.
Yeah, hit subscribe, please, so we can have more of these.
Yes.
Thank you so much.